everyone, and welcome to the first official episode of the 252 Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Young, coming to you from the Northeast North Carolina area in a little patch of awesome called Elizabeth City. And today's episode is going to be basically an introduction episode. And let's begin. Now, the podcast is basically going to, what I have to do is explain to you what's going on. So what I've done is I've started the podcast with posting a YouTube channel, and then I posted and started a Facebook page. But the first video I uploaded onto the YouTube channel is a video that I posted and uploaded to my personal Facebook page, which was I don't want to call it a political video, but it was a video with political content. It was more of what I like to say, or what I would say is more of a public service announcement. We could call it that. Right when this whole, and I'll go ahead and warn you, I'm going to talk about COVID-19 just for a minute. Right when the COVID-19 whole thing, debacle, started to hit home here in the United States, and all municipalities from federal to state to local municipalities here in my local municipality, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, started to really grasp the issue and start to do things and issue, stay-at-home order and close businesses down and whatnot. The local municipality here, the city council, decided to give themselves a raise. And normally, I don't get into politics, but they tried to give themselves a 73% increase in pay. I saw this, so I made a video to better inform everyone that was happening, and it kind of went semi-viral for around here where I am, and people shared it. They saw it because it was information, fact-based information, no he said, she said, just facts about what they said, what they did, how they voted, who voted, how you could contact them and ask them why they voted for that during a pandemic while businesses were told to close. People were unaware how they were going to pay their mortgages. Kids were not allowed to go to school, and when kids aren't allowed to go to school, there's a lot of kids that rely on, free school lunches to eat. So that at that time, people were worried, how are my kids going to eat? Since then, all that's been worked out, but still to this day, the raise is still has not been taken care of. So that's still a issue that's going on. But so that video is up there, and that's still a hot topic issue. But that video, the reason why I bring that up and why it's in this introduction episode is because I don't want people to think that this is a political podcast, because it's not. I don't inspire to be Rush Limbaugh or NPR News. No, I don't. That's not me. This is not a political podcast. I'm a citizen. I'm in this. I live here. I pay taxes. I live in the city limits, so I pay double taxes. Not only do I pay the county tax, I pay the city tax too. So I'm doubly taxed. I pay the high city electric bills. So I pay my fair share. And that type of raise that they're implementing for themselves with the way they've done it affects me greatly. So, and it affects everybody, no matter where you live, no matter what color you are, no matter what gender you are, it affects everyone. So it's a very united-based stance. It affects everyone, no matter who you are and what you make and where and what type of job title you hold. So, and to ask for that during the time when all of us were struggling, I felt like it was a stance that needed to be taken. So I made the video, and I've been watching this unfold, and I will make others for that issue, but this is not a political deal. So I wanted to make that clear, because this is not a political podcast. This podcast was actually started to be more of a connectivity podcast, to connect people, to hear why they do things that they do, how they do things that they do, and for what reasons they do things. Small businesses owners, what made them choose what they do, how they do it, and how it affects other business owners, how it affects their consumers and their customers, their clients, how the money trail, follow the money trail, where the money goes. Are we just circulating money? Are we all spending the same dollar and it just circulates throughout our community? Are we bringing in fresh dollars from outside of the community to replenish and to grow that dollar bill? Things like that. How is Jim is selling beans at the local market. And Sally buys a bean from Jim. How is that bean getting to Sally, and how is Sally using that bean to better off her restaurant down the street? Things like that. That was really kind of what I was envisioning about this podcast, and kind of interviewing those people and hearing how it goes, and then interviewing local municipality leaders and how they tend to take care of our local commerce, that type of thing. And local folks, how they like living in our area, what do they do for enjoyment in this area. That was what the 252 podcast is all about. Now, that's the brainchild that I envisioned. Can it morph into other things? Why, sure. Because I don't put limitations on anything. I don't put shackles on anything. But that was what I envisioned. So I just wanted to put that out there. This is not a political-based thing. It is not a NPR Rush Limbaugh. I do not want to be dry and boring. I want to be fun and innovative and listen to all types of walks of life. I want to hear from people. I want to, just like the big thing is that I want to hear from the people that voted for the raise. I want to know why they think they want a 73% raise. I want to hear from them. I want them to sit down and talk with me. I want to hear from them. I want them to tell me why. And I would gladly sit here and let them say with their side of the story, and I would not push their buttons, because I just want to hear the train of thought. So that's really what this is all about. And that's pretty much it. It's connectivity is what the 252 podcast is about. It's about the infrastructure, and it's about really giving yourself and everyone the bigger picture, because what you can go through in life is living with tunnel vision, and there's a lot of folks out there living with that tunnel vision, and you want to broaden your horizons and see everything from multiple spectrums of life. Spectrums of life. So that's really what it's about. So I have multiple guests lined up, and I will be videotaping key episodes of the podcast. This was not one that was deemed worthy of videotaping because, it's just me. I'm sitting here and I'm comfortable and I'm talking. So, I can videotape them all, but they probably won't be as entertaining. But hey, we might get there. But yes, so I do have a laundry list of guests. But just like everything, the old COVID-19 has put a damper on a lot of things. So, but again, that's really, in a nutshell, what I envision. But the more listeners, the more suggestions I get from everyone listening, it could turn into something else. And I'm open to that. So you guys can reach me at my personal Facebook, which is just Stephen Young. You can find me there. Send me a message. You can find me on Facebook, 252Podcast. You can find me on YouTube, 252Podcast. And send me a message. Tell me what you're into. Tell me what you want to hear about. If you have any, anything you want championed, hey, I'll at least talk to you about it. Maybe I'll do an episode about it. Just let me know. If you have any questions, I'll talk to you about them. Send me something. We'll definitely discuss it. And, let's see what we can build upon this. If you'd like to be interviewed, definitely send me a message. And you can always reach me at 252-599-0722. Give me a call or a text, and I will respond. So, but that's about it, guys. If you guys have anything interesting you think that we should talk about or make an episode about, or if you'd like to be interviewed and discuss anything about your small business or anything that you think is relevant, please contact me or connect with me. All right, so until we meet again, this is the 252 Podcast with Stephen Young. Over and out.